What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV at the big ticket quiz giveaway with Bet365, and we're with big William Gallas here as well. How you doing, William?
I'm okay, thanks.
Good to have you on the channel. It really
Thank
is.
you, thanks.
And talking about big nights, there's two games that really stand out for me about your time at Tottenham. There was that night against AC Milan, but we need to talk about 3-2 at the Emirates. 2-0 down, 3-2 up. Man of the match performance from you. Talk to me a bit about that day.
It was a special day, you know, because for me, I was coming back to Emirates as a former Arsenal player, and I knew it will be very difficult for me because the fans of Arsenal is going to boo me. So I had a lot of pressure on my shoulder, you know.
Definitely.
And I was focused, you know, in the dressing room. I was focused about what was the most important for me. It was to have a great performance, you know, for Tottenham. And suddenly, you know, the manager, Harry Redknapp, came to see me and asked me, "William, are you okay?" I said, "Yes, I'm fine. Do you have any pressure?" I said, "No, I'm fine, no problem." He said, "Okay, good. You know what? I'm going to put you as captain."
Wow.
I look at him. I said, "Harry, are you serious?" He said, Yeah. Let's give to the fans, you know, something, you know, for the game to be more electric. I said, "Oh my gosh." The fun is going to be really, really crazy. So on the tunnel, when I came out, all the Arsenal players look at me. They saw me as the first man. And for them, I think it was a big surprise. And for the fans as well, you know. So, yeah, a lot of pressure on my shoulder. And the game went well, you know, for Tottenham. So
We haven't won there since.
we won at the end. I think it was a great performance of the players. And yeah, I went back home, you know, with a smile because I did my job and everybody was happy.
Looking at the Spurs team now, what do you think Spurs need to truly compete back at that kind of level again?
You know, for me, I think when I look the team, when I look the players, it look like, you know, Tottenham are in still the same position.
Yeah.
I mean, position to be behind Chelsea, to be behind Arsenal, you know. And I think what they have to do is, you know, to choose the right players to put the club in the different level.
Because it sounds like back in those days you had Bale and Modric and yourself, Ledley, King, and now, I mean, you know, we've got good players, but no one of that level.
But yeah, because when you look, most of the players, they are good,
Yeah.
but they don't have that. I will say that they are not the world-class players. And I think if you want to go to the another level, you know, to really compete for the Premier League, you need some world-class players.
And we've seen this season a major contrast in the Premier League form and the Champions League form for Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously winning the Europa League last season as well. Does that have something to do with it? What, in your mind, why is there such a difference in Spurs between the Premier League and the Champions League?
To be honest, I don't know. You know, I try to understand, you know, what happened for Tottenham, you know, when they won the Europa League. You know, that was great. You know, that was unbelievable for the club. And I try to understand how it happened, why it happened. and it looked like inconsciently, the players are more focused about the European league, and maybe because you have to play less game, I don't know. Maybe the games are less intense than the Premier League, because the Premier League is very intense. So that's why it's the best league in the world. But I think Tottenham, even I think for the fans, I think the club maybe has to try to be more focused about the Premier League, because the Premier League is something you want to win, and I'm sure the fans will be so happy if you ask them to choose between the Premier League and Champions League. I'm sure the fans will answer the Premier League.
But I've got a bit of a different take on that, because I would prefer the Champions League, just because Arsenal haven't won it yet. So I want to be the first team in North London to win the Champions League.
Yeah, but be careful, because maybe this season they're going to win it.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm looking at the Spurs centre-backs now in Mickey van de Ven and Coutinho Romero, which in my opinion are probably Spurs' two best players at this moment in time. As a captain, former captain with you, looking at Coutinho Romero, who's the current captain now, has he got the leadership qualities to take Spurs onto the next level?
He got it. He got that strength, to bring his team, to the different level. Now, I think he has to perform at every game.
Yeah.
And that is very important, for the captain, to be the example and to bring everyone with him. So I know he had some injury, because when you compare his performance from maybe last year or maybe 2 years ago to this season, it looked like last year, he had better performance than now. So for me, it's very important, because he got the quality, he got the quality. He's a competitor. I like him. Sometimes he go too much. So sometimes he takes some, if I can say, some stupid yellow card. But if he can improve on this, and has a better performance, I think he's going to be the right captain, like Ledley King.
Yeah, and you look at Romero in the last week and in the past, we've seen him as a captain of the football club talk about the problems maybe that exist in the football club with the powers that be. As a former captain, what do you make out of that as a captain of the club?
What do you mean?
He's been talking on social media about the ownership at the club and maybe bad things that are happening within the club. Do you think that's the right thing to do as a former captain? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
No problem. I'm strong enough, so no problem. I think, everybody has a different opinion, to speak about what happened at the club. Most of the people will tell you, everything happened at the club, stay at the club. You don't have to speak about it on the social media, and social media, as we know, you have to control the social media very well.
Yes.
So, as I said, everyone has a different opinion. I don't know if he's I don't know what he did, if he's good or not, but at the end, what is the most important is, to see the club, to be back, to be back, with the board, and to give the opportunity as well for the fans, to come at the training or to come at the stadium, and just to be happy. And to think about the future, to think about the next season, and to try to know, what is going to be the best for the club. About which players to come and to reach the another level. I think that is the most important, because the problem Tottenham has now, it has to be solved.
You mentioned Ledley King before. He's a player that we all hold dear, very dear to our hearts. People always look back at Ledley King and say, he should have been as good as John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, without the injuries. Do you agree? Someone that was inside the locker room with him?
Yeah. For me, Ledley King, was one of the best central back in the Premier League, and he, unfortunately, he had too many injuries. He could not show to everyone how good, how strong he was. And I remember when I was there at the dressing room, we had the opportunity, to speak, to know each other a little bit more. And even at the training, because he was not training every day, but what he was doing, it was something just unbelievable, because people didn't realize how difficult it was for him, to have that performance without training. And he had some performance, it was just amazing.
Blew us all away, yeah.
So you can imagine if the guys was fit, no injury, definitely, people will put him
in that same account.
Not in the same.
Oh, better.
Wow. I'm telling you.
So you think with no injuries he could have been the best English centre-back kind of our time?
Yes.
Wow, that's big.
Yes. Yes, because he had everything.
Yeah.
He had everything. Yeah. Tall, strong.
Good on the ball, yeah.
Read the game, play with the both feet.
Yeah.
Can score on the free kick, on corners. He had everything.
Wow.
And so that's why for me, it was because I met him, I had that feeling, I was sad because, he could not show what he could do.
And finally, obviously you played for Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, 3 big rivals. Which fan shows you the most love out on the streets now?
No one. No one. When I'm walking in the street, to be honest, some fans, it can be Arsenal, Tottenham, or Chelsea, when they see me in the street, they said hello to me, shake my hand, Some of them that don't want to say hello. I can understand, but no problem. But I didn't have any problem.
William, thank you so much for coming on. Amazing, thank you.
Thank you.